In those very early days, this was now 93, 94, the situation was actually quite desperate. There were no medical facilities, there was very little in terms of schooling, infrastructure, no electricity, no water. So it was still very, very backward in those days.
You get lucky, I'd say you get lucky to be educated. So if you look at education from another angle, at the angle of solving problems, then you are getting the right meaning of education.
We are not lazy, but we are poor. In Kenya, we take ourselves like that.
It's a nice place, and I feel very, 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 very proud to be working here. And
we have so much capacity now. The office in the trust is run by capable people who are excited.
The capacity building program, one thing is that it reaches the people.
I have great hope for the future of this fantastic project.
It's a program that is much more to do with being in the community rather than on site. You know, the Trust for 30 years has worked on building projects and infrastructure. That's all finished now. So now it's about how do you make these projects sustainable? How do you empower community members themselves to create their own projects?
As a trainer, we work with my colleague Eunice. Here at FTC Training, we train local people around Chepchoina location on how to embrace on organic farming.
And that really aligned with the capacity building program. Rights-based development, which is instead of just building projects, it's really people-centered. So people driving their own development processes, people owning that process, deciding what it is that they need to make their lives better.
You know, when you go through the trainings, there are assignments after every phases. And after phase 2, the trainers will ask the facilitators to go back to the community and hold workshops with them. So you realize that dialogue is coming in. And when you look at the dialogue we are speaking about in Chepchoina, it is real. You will find that people did not have the opportunity of speaking about issues, leave alone trying to solve them, just speaking about them.
So we go right there at their settlements, the informal settlements. So we go right there where they are living, enter even their houses, talk to them at that level, and we connect. So that connection only works miracles. The stories that emanate from there, people saying that for all these years I've never been visited by anybody. So from there we build a relationship that has provided an opportunity for them to trust us.
So the importance of this technical training in Chepchoina community is to empower the graduates to be self-reliant, because if they train in a technical skill, they're able to start their own business or their own workshops in which they can get some cash or be able to sustain their own life.
I keep on wondering without this company how this place will be looking like, because the place out there, the Chepchoina and the surrounding is what it is because of this company. It is employees living around and all depending on the company. The market growing because of the company, everybody coming to the facilities, the hospitals and the schools. It's a great impact to the community here.
For one, the academic performance. As you can see on our chart, the academic performance since 2006 up to 2020, you see it's a school that normally registers over 300 mean score, so the performance actually is high. Number two, the contact, the child-teacher contact, it's up to date. There is no single lesson children in Anderson Primary School will go without being attended to by a teacher. The school, of course, is sponsored by Mount Elgon Orchard, Elimu Mount Elgon Trust. You look at the furniture, the facilities. The children are sitting on very expensive chairs. The desks are there, which in other schools we don't have such like furniture. Children sit on stones. Yeah, so facilities in the school are super. Another reason also, The teachers even the teachers are motivated.
And we're committed to make sure that the trust not only survives, but is developed and goes far into the future.
So, in other words, every time we are sitting down the capacity building, the highlights are, how things are transforming for me slowly by slowly, and how people, these things are practical. There are things, it's the first time I'm in the program. That right now, even though we are speaking about the beautiful stories that we've had for the last 1 year, I'm confident that more stories are going to come up again, better than maybe even the ones we've had already. Yeah.
On our way to Nabeki Charabai, which are two villages where a lot of our participants from the capacity building program come from. So the villages up here are pretty remote, they're far away from the main roads, and we're going to go and meet some of the participants to find out what the situation is like up there. So today we're in Nabeki Charabai. We're here to visit the village here to see some of the businesses that are going on. Some of the businesses have been newly started by capacity building participants. There's other projects going on as well, so we're going to do some introducing to the community and yeah, see what they're up to. Because of capacity building. I'm proud of you.
Majina yangu naitwa Caleb. Tumefanya kazi na Anna kule Anderson. Mimi nikiwa kama chairperson wa kusimamia kikundi, na leo tuko na furaha kwa sababu Anna na timu yake wameamua kututembelea vijijini ili waone hali zenye tunapitia na pia hali yenye watu wetu wanapitia, ili tukaweze kushare kwa pamoja, ili tukajue tunaweza kusaidiana namna gani, ili tukainue uchumi ya watu wetu pia iwe kwa kiwango ya juu. Hii inatusaidia watoto wanaenda shule pia, inatusaidia pia tuwezi kosa sukari, tunapata pia chakula na maisha yanaendelea mbele. Imetusaidia sana. Pia tumejaribu kupitia kwa hayo masomo ya Anderson. Pia nikajaribu mradi ya kufuka kondoo kidogo pale. Nikajaribu mradi ya kufuka pia ndege. Na pia rabbits, sungura wako hapa. Tunaweza angalia. Ita watu wanaitwa rabbits, sungura. Ni mradi mpya. Pia utatembea vizuri hapa kwangu. Pia hapa tuko na hawa ndege. Pia ni mradi ya capacity building Anderson. Vile mimi natoka huko, nasema naanza mambo mapya. Kila kitu naanza kuwa mpya. Alafu pia hapo kuna kondoo. Kupitia kwa hiyo masomo yetu ya Anderson. Pia tunaendelea na hiyo mradi. Na tunaona Mungu anasaidia. Hiyo masomo sisi mimi natumia hiyo masomo na naona inasaidia mimi. Asante. Tunashukuru sana. Karibu hapa nyumbani.
Asante sana.
At the moment, including we have seasonal workers, we have permanent around 1,400 workers, and then seasonal is at the moment 237. Just over 1,600 workers. Absolutely, I think the second largest employer is about 800 workers. The farm is very much not only profit orientated. We're very keen to look after the community around us. Core values of the farm: quality, responsibility, and fun. Quality in everything we do, responsibility of people and the environment, and fun. Because my philosophy is simple. I say if you're spending 80% of your time, of your waking hours at work, you may as well have fun doing it.
If I think back of those early days where people were dying, where children couldn't go to school, there was a primary school, but those old buildings were just like animal stables. Really, it wasn't even a proper school. If you see now that there are primary schools, we've got this fantastic new primary school, children going to secondary school, there's nobody at home anymore. There's the vocational training, talented students can go to university. That is all possible, partly because we have invested so much in that community, but also there has been an enormous development and change in the government of Kenya, in the ministries of health, in the ministry of youth, in the ministry of education. So that has really gone hand in hand, and over 25 years you can see an amazing difference, I think, if you knew where we were when we started. Yeah.
And that's where we are now. We are trying to encourage them to see what they start in a small way. As one of the tools to fight poverty, bring hope back to the community. And we are seeing that we shall need more time in that, definitely. I think it is transformation, complete transformation. We want that in the next 5 to 10 years, somebody who was here and left, when they come back, they will be amazed that the people have taken their own initiative in solving their own problems. And one of the problems we identified was dependency syndrome. It was like they depend on people. They rely on other people, the institutions like the ADCs, even to solve small challenges at the family level. So we want people to get empowered, to identify challenges that face them and know that they have capacity together as groups to solve those challenges. And I think the vision is that at the end of it all, we shall have a community that is living in a healthy environment, albeit the economy, they are able to engage in economic activities that will generate wealth and empower families and empower neighborhoods. Be it culture, we are looking at how we can engage them to embrace the positive culture and shun the retrogressive ones that do not contribute to development. And that's not very easy, but together with patience and persistence, we know we are able to achieve that.
Mimi kwanza kwa majina langu ninaitwa Janet Musimbi, nakaa Swam, kijiji changu ndicho Swam, ni kambi ya forest. Muda ilipofika wakati tukawa kwamba nikatembelewa na mwalimu anaitwa Kisaka kutoka Mount Elgon Trust, ambaye alikuja akaniambia habari njema juu ya waliofungwa na juu ya miradi. Nikaona kama mmoja tuliyekaa katika kijiji tumefungwa mahali pale, tumefungwa kwa umaskini, na kwa hivyo katika hiyo ujumbe nilichukuliwa Mount Elgon Trust, nikawa mmoja wanao walioenda kupata elimu pale. Kwa hivyo elimu niliyopata mahali pale ilibidi nilete nyumbani niweze kufundisha wale community ambao ile nilipata kule kama mwanafunzi, nikuje nieleze community kwamba Huko ile jambo nimesoma ni hili.
And that's what we're doing with it. And so we're 1 year in, we've got 2 years to go. I can say with this program, I feel grateful that I've found my passion at that age, that I know what I want to do with my life, and it is thanks to this place, to the people I've met, the stories that will stay with me forever and that will always motivate me in what I'm doing with my work. I'll always feel connected to this place, I know that for sure. But for now, you know, I'm very committed to seeing what can we do here. Yeah, what can we achieve with the program. Yeah.